remember going to Washington, and we couldn't afford much, so I stayed in the hotels that were actually had bars on the windows and stuff. Not only did I lose my staff and everything, I lost a 25-year marriage, and so, and that was difficult. But then I met Adoya.
Silver lining.
Yeah, he's a very positive person. And we decided that we were going to take the world on together. And so she encouraged me to go to Washington and make a submission for the project. And the more I talked to the 6 firms, I started realizing that I was in a very strong position. And each wanted me to be part of their team. So I said okay to every one of them. That, yeah, I'll be part of your team. I mean, if you're going to make presentations 6 times to the client, I mean, that's not bad.
That's good odds.
Yeah, good odds that I might be selected by one of them. But there was one group that I liked more than anybody else, and that was Geddes, Brooker, Quills, and Cunningham. We made our presentation to the Smithsonian, and then we all ran down to the site that we were on, and we all just sort of got together in a circle and just stood there thinking, my God, you know, this is the last site in the mall, right in front of the Capitol. And just then a flock of birds just landed on the site in a circle beside us. We were watching them just land just like that, flew away. One of the Native Americans says, that's a good sign. I think they'll select us for the project. And lo and behold, we were selected for the project. It just blew my mind. I requested that I have elders from the Americas to come to Washington. And they had this vision at the end that it was about contribution. It was not to talk about any negativity of the past. It was just to show the contribution that First Nations have contributed to society. So I was stretching myself to serve the Smithsonian as they were withholding money from me. And then Palchik came in for a peer review of my work. My first relationship with Palchik was one of seeing that he had a lot of politics and he was greedy as hell. And he wasn't going to give anybody anything, you know, he's going to take it all. The building should have cost $100 million, but they ended up costing the Smithsonian $300 million for a degraded building of mine because they didn't know what they were doing. They had never done a curvilinear building before like this. You know, they took all the scaffolding off the building and they all pulled back and looked at the building. Everybody said, that's Cardinal's work. And the evidence is in their face forever. You know, there are some people like the Rockefellers, there's like Edith Crutcher, Lloyd Keevan-Yu, who did everything possible to try to have it done right. Imagine Carter Brown only allowing, this is a real precedent in Washington. He said, you don't understand the precedent I'm setting. I'm only allowing the work of a fired architect to be on the last site on the Mall in Washington. There's always these amazing people that come to the fore and come forward and want to see things done right. And I'd rather align myself with them, you know, those kind of people. And he said, not only do you have my money, you got my time, and that's even more valuable. You got my time and Jane's time.